people, countries, and the world, humanity, we need to have dreams. This is a constructive dream. But then you need to implement it. My name is David Gosset. I was born in Paris in 1970, but it's a very interesting story that I have with China, because as a kid I was attracted by China because of table tennis. My first contact with the Chinese culture was through Tang Dynasty poetry, and I told myself I want to know more about this great civilization. I discovered that the world in which we live depends very much on China. And at the same time, I realized that my friends in Europe, they are not aware or informed enough on the Chinese dynamics. Therefore, I have established the China-Europe Forum in 2002. And more recently, I am very proud of a new platform, which is the China-Europe-America Global Initiative, because I really believe if China, Europe, and North America, especially the US, are able to work together, there is progress for all of us, and more importantly, for mankind. This idea of a shared future for humanity is extremely important for a very simple reason. We live in a very divided world, and this idea is for all of us. It is a project that unites people. It is also a call for a better, more just, sustainable global governance. Because if you want a shared future for humanity, you need to perfect, to reform the global governance. The UN is a very necessary tool for global governance, but is under threat. And the good news we are having from China is that there is a very new initiative. These are very important initiatives, not only for the Chinese people, not only for people coming from Europe, but for global citizens. And hopefully it will help safeguarding the UN system. People, countries, and the world, humanity, we need to have dreams. This is a constructive dream. But then you need to implement it. So you implement with some projects. And what China is doing in its relation with Latin America in terms of trade and infrastructure, it is an instrument to implement the dream. But the same thing when you see the relations between China and ASEAN, China and the Middle East, China and Africa. So many projects are going on in the framework of this vision. Unfortunately, this process of renaissance is sometimes not well understood outside of China. This is an issue. It is why we need to communicate. Now there is a new trend. I can see young people coming from different countries. They come to China, they shoot with their phone, and they post on the web. When you look at the number of viewers, it's very high number of viewers. You have different kinds of comments, but most of the time the people are very impressed by what they see. This is an example where new technologies, new forms of communication help us to increase the level of mutual understanding. China is trying very hard, actually, to make friends with all the countries that compose the international community. we had a very successful meeting of the SCO in Tianjin, and actually, very recently, we had a fora in Beijing, the Xiangshan Forum in Defense. Yesterday, I participated into the Beijing Cultural Forum, a very successful forum. You had people in the room, speakers from all over the world. So this is a very important signal, I think, to have China doing that, because probably China is the only country able to do that. We need to take good care of the UN system, because this is essential to global governance. We need to work together on climate change. Of course, we need economic development, but we need this development to be harmonious, not to destroy nature, the balance between nature and economic development. The European Union and China, at this moment, actually they converge. They have fundamental agreement. So we need more and more cooperation. This year, we are celebrating the 10th anniversary of the Paris Agreement. And this is the moment when we have to stand up, and technology is so important. Look, we are going through a revolutionary moment with the emergence of AI. But who knows where AI is going to lead us? I think it is very important that the governments, they regulate the